You're listening to 50 Pirates in 50 Days on the Sports Objective Podcast. A new era of East Carolina football is here and will begin on August 31st when Mike Houston leads the Pirates into action at NC State. Between now and then, join us for a daily trip down memory lane as we experience Pirate football through the words of the men who made those memorable moments happen. Here's your host, Bubba Rosenbaum.
Welcome into the Sports Objective Podcast. Our 50 Pirates in 50 Days series rolls on, and we're talking to another receiver from that 1991 Peach Bowl team, Clayton Driver. Welcome into the show, Clayton.
Evening, everybody. How you doing?
Doing well.
Doing well. Hope you are. We appreciate your time. Looking forward to reflecting on that Peach Bowl season as well as your career as a whole. And so let's just start there. I know you're from the Atlanta area, I believe College Park to be exact.
Indeed.
So if you would, talk about your recruitment to East Carolina.
Steve Logan was at Mississippi State. Something happened. He left Mississippi State. Called me from East Carolina to check on me, see where I was going. Nothing had really panned out. Wisconsin, Temple were really the only major D1s that were really talking to me. So I took a trip up to Greenville, and the big-time schedule piqued my interest.
Were you familiar at all with East Carolina before Logan started recruiting you?
Not at all. Matter of fact, when he called me, I was like, I know North, I know South. I've never heard of East. Right. So definitely a big-time culture change. But football is football. And I didn't like to lose. And I got with a couple of guys that didn't like to lose either.
So, Clayton, you're talking about that previous relationship with Steve Logan. With you being from the Atlanta area, obviously Bill Lewis, who's the new head coach in '89, he had been hired from being the defensive coordinator at Georgia. So were you familiar with him?
Not on a personal level. My high school, I love my high school. Let me put that out there. But our coaches didn't do a good job exposing the talent that we had walking around the building, especially on that football team. So with that being said, a lot of the letters, a lot of our exposure, which is pivotal to a young athlete, was not at our disposal. So with the peak and the rays of sunshine that really got through, we were able to capitalize on it a lot from the football team. But I did not know a lot about Georgia. Anybody on the staff. I was not recruited by Georgia. Well, I later found out I had plenty of recruitment by Georgia, letters in a box, but I didn't get them.
Yeah, that's
not good.
It is what it is, man. We moved on.
But Clayton, talking a little bit about that first staff that Bill Lewis had, and just remarkable. I mean, it's hard to name everybody without leaving somebody out on just the success they went on to in their career. And Coach Lewis was able to assemble all those guys in Greenville back in 1989. I'm trying to remember. It was either SB Nation or Hero Sports did a story on it. We'll try to put that out on our social media when we release this interview. But so you, in addition to Steve Logan, you have Mark Richt. Everybody's familiar with Mark Richt.
Mark Richt. I don't know why they fired him at Georgia, but okay, let's keep it moving.
Right.
I don't think he should have always continued to call the plays.
Yeah, and you had Chuck Pagano, who went on to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. You had Jeff Jagodzinski.
Fireball defensive back coach. DBs, one-on-one, he and Coach Steele, it was hilarious. But again, you compete every play. That's kind of tutelage we were under. Jags, tight end, Luke Fisher. We don't need to say more.
Right. And you had Steve Shankweiler, who's back on Mike Houston's staff.
Still holding it down. Look. Offense was not a problem for the Pirates.
And no doubt about it. Steve Shankweiler has now been on 5 different East Carolina staffs down through the years. And you also had Ron Cooper, who went on to be the head coach at Louisville. And also Eastern Michigan.
Was Cooper on mine? Okay.
And then you have some others that I haven't named. So just a rock star staff, as some folks would say. And
hey, we can't forget about Ruff.
Yep, and I was referring to the '89 staff, but in 1992, your senior year, Coach Ruff was coaching the D line.
And not forget about Ruff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was one of those. So I can tell that you were like a lot of us back in 2015 when all that went down, and we cut ties with Coach Ruff. So that was something that was extremely heartbreaking for a lot of Pirate fans.
Hey man, business. That's all I can attribute it to.
It was more than business.
Say it like you mean it now. A lot of people listening.
Yeah, there was there was some personal stuff there, and Ruff was done wrong, and there was a whole lot of people pissed off, and guess what? The people that got rid of Ruff ain't here no more.
Hey man, but look where we are. We lost to Antietam.
That's right. You're exactly right.
No, that's a tough-ass loss.
It's
no doubt about it.
And that's why he's not here anymore. And hopefully Mike Houston is going to get this thing turned around.
Let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask you this. Pirate to Pirate. Is it a step up or a step down? I never thought, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but JMU was never in my peripheral, rear view, side view, front view mirror at all.
You mean Mike Houston? Is it a step up? Oh, Mike Houston's a winner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Anybody's a step up from Scotty Montgomery. This water bottle I got in my hands is a step up from Scotty Montgomery. Yeah, Mike Houston breaking in Steve Shankweiler, Donnie Kirkpatrick, a couple of guys that were here under Coach Ruff. And under, Shank, you played it under Shank. So,
well, again, like I said, offense has never been a problem. We score 31, we give up 35.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, Clayton.
You'll be y'all there now. I trust you. You got your finger on the pulse of the Pirates. I'm a long way away.
Yeah, it's I think Pirate Nation. They're currently pleased, and of course we haven't played a game, but I just think you look at what Coach Houston has done at his previous stops. He first of all did it on the high school level, then he did it at the Division II level, and then after taking Lenore Ryan to D2 runner-up, he did it at Citadel, and when he was at Citadel, he knocked off the Gamecocks. He knocked off the Gamecocks, and then up at JMU, he obviously won a title and then finished runner-up. So,
what's his record again? I'm just asking, man. How did he do again? Did he play App State?
App State's in the Sun Belt now, but he won the national championship at James Madison at the 1AA level, and he upset East Carolina while he was at James Madison.
Okay, well, that's enough said then. Okay, fine.
Yeah, he beat us 34-14, and it wasn't that close. We scored in the final minute of the game to make it look a little bit closer than what it was.
And you'll also be pleased to know he is good friends with Russell McNeil.
Hey, man, I worry about the program. I worry about the quality. Is Coach Connor still around, or he's gone?
He retired.
He retired after last season.
I gotta say this: that was a big chip. That was a big chip. We did not expect to lose. We expected to win in the fourth quarter, period. Bottom line, hands down. What's that?
I've got a fire alarm going off here. Sorry about that. Hold on a second.
So, strength and conditioning program. How the guys looking?
Looking good. And Coach Houston had a guy that he felt confident in. I think it was more that than anything against Coach Connors. It was actually a guy who's a Greenville Rose alum.
Okay.
So got Big John Williams, and I think I want to say he may have even spent some time under Coach Connors at North Carolina at some point, but
if he was at Greenville Rose, he touched me. I know he went to at least one football camp at ECU.
Right, and that's the thing. He's from Greenville. He has that relationship with Coach Houston, so I mean, he fully gets what Pirate Nation expects.
All right, I got a question. Party school #1 in the nation. We selling alcohol at the stadium. How would that have gone over in our day?
Well, you know, Clayton, so many people tailgate before the games and get drunk.
Hey, man, and then you get to continue all the way.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a big difference in terms of how people are going to act at the game, because if you want to get drunk, you're going to get drunk before you come in.
Hey, man, you're going to get it in.
And you're going to sneak your airplane bottles in. So
okay.
I think what it is going to increase revenue. I mean, you're going
no
to
doubt business.
Selling beer and wine. So,
no doubt business. All right.
Yep.
I'm just thinking about, just like you said, it hasn't stopped anything. Everybody brought anything in the game. So, all right.
And that's one of those things that how much it increases revenue remains to be seen. A lot of people, I believe, think that it will increase our revenue a lot more than what it actually will. But based on some of the numbers that I've seen at other schools, schools like Ohio State, that have 95.
109. We at 78, ain't we?
Well, right.
50,000.
That's what I was going to say. You're looking at a school that has 100,000, and then so if you're kind of doing the math and looking at us where we're going to have 45 or 50,000, it's probably. I bet that we end up making $250,000 or something, between $250,000 or something.
Okay.
But we'll see. It'll be interesting to look at that come December.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's just where I'm sitting from in Atlanta when I'm looking at ECU football. Right.
But kind of getting back to your career, when you arrived onto the scene, obviously there's a big culture shift taking place with Coach Lewis having taken over for Art Baker. So talk a little bit about that, because you were coming in anew right then when Coach Lewis was coming in. So talk a little bit about what Coach Lewis brought to the table and what his message was to you guys behind the scenes.
You have an opportunity to play immediately. Everything was brand new. He really did. As any head coach, I need to put my players on the field. We came in, and I don't know how they're going to do this when look at college football now. We came in 2 weeks prior to the returning varsity as a freshman unit. So we were there a month for 2 days, a whole month. That doesn't happen anymore. We had a lot more contact. There was a foxhole kind of mentality. We got to survive this summer practice. And that's really a saying that we had, how to survive summer practice, volume 2. Chris Hall, ask him about it. But there was a toughness that was bred in the heat and humidity at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. And then the 4 o'clock practice after the rain, after the lunch. You can't breathe on the field, on the track. It's wet, it's muddy, it's swampy. nah, we weren't going to give it up easy in the fourth quarter.
So, like we've talked about with several of the teammates of yours that we've had on, those 89 and 90 seasons, you really had that building process going on. You had near misses against the likes of Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Georgia, etc. You went down to Tallahassee. You played Florida State tough.
I broke my arm in Tallahassee, yo.
I'm sorry?
I broke my arm in Tallahassee.
Okay, I didn't recall that. What part of
Darren Bynum tore his knee up. Al Whiting tore his shoulder up. We got beat up in Tallahassee.
Okay, the main thing I remember about that game from Tallahassee is the 91-yard touchdown pass to Luke Fisher.
I can dig it. That's some bright spot, man. Luke is a baller. Straight up.
Luke outran their All-American linebacker. I believe Kurt Carruthers was his name, but Luke could run.
Hey, again, Luke is a baller. You would never hear me say anything else about the man, Cool Hand Luke, at all. Right, a straight-up baller. Play hurt, right. Block, run a hell of a route. You know he can catch. Hey, man, anything you want from a tight end at 6'4", 240. Give me that, Luke. Give me that, Luke Fisher.
Absolutely. So kind of prior to that 91 season, you had seen the flashes. We had been knocking on the door. What are your thoughts on the progression of the program those first couple of years? And then in 91, you really exploded onto the scene. You had 10 touchdown receptions.
Well, the why behind what you're doing. As a performance specialist, I try to really convey that to the people I work with, why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you spaced the way you're spaced on the line of scrimmage? Why is it that in the meeting you get in trouble or, negative consequences for lining up 1 yard outside the hash or on the numbers? What it does to the defense. But 2 years in that offense, 2 summer practices, allows you to get that knowledge, gain that knowledge on the fly to understand what you are doing and how it affects the defense. I remember a game against South Carolina, my sophomore season. It was on TV. I was playing with the Cavs, so it was after Florida State. We got killed. At South Carolina. The next 2 years, next 2 to 3 years, we didn't even get close to losing South Carolina. So, Jeff getting better. Everybody involved in the South Coast offense, the West Coast offense, understanding what we needed to do, where we needed to be, and how fast we needed to be there, increased with the repetition. And that whole offense, look at Kansas City right now. Sometimes I call same plays with big guy. They run the same offense. It is hard to stop. And when you got guys that explosive, Deion Johnson, and go 60 yards, 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, you're going to have a lot of success. We never had a problem on offense.
Now, Clayton, it's funny you bring up South Carolina because that 1991 South Carolina game that the Pirates won 31-20.
In the rain.
That was actually the 92 game down there, but that 91 game in Greenville, man, that play, it was I don't remember exactly what point of the ball game, but it was a pivotal play, the deep ball from Jeff that you caught going towards what is now the Murphy Center end zone. I remember you caught it in the left corner, and then my dad and I always laughed about it. It seemed like it's almost like you had seen a gamecock down there. You just froze for a minute and stared, and before you came back to the sideline, you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 5-pattern. Actually, it was a conversion route. They played a 2 deep. We had an out route, 3 routes, route tree. Anybody who knows football, you route trees. Inside numbers go inside, outside. Odd numbers go outside. Even numbers go inside. If you don't have it, you got to convert it. We converted it. Jeff throws a pretty deep ball. Safety was late rotating over the top. I really don't miss too many. And it was like one of those, hey, man, we're not going to lose to these guys. That was right at halftime. Always got to close out a quarter strong, right? Right. That was a good feeling, man. That was a good feeling. That was a good feeling. That was a good feeling to be everybody's homecoming, to being a threat.
So, in addition to that play, obviously the Peach Bowl is something that's going to stand out. But what else about that 91 season really stands out? Or do you have a favorite story?
Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah, the Virginia Tech game where you guys had to come from behind to kind of clinch the Peach Bowl invitation.
Hey, man, to go on the road and win, that's a mark of a good team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I remember you had a big touchdown catch late in that ball game.
I mean, I don't like to lose, guys. I started this interview. I do not like to lose. I got with a couple guys that did not like to lose, like I didn't like to lose.
It's funny when you look back at that Virginia Tech game in '91. It seems like it was the last game of the regular season because it had so much impact. But then y'all had to go right back after the emotional win on the road to Lane Stadium and getting the Peach Bowl invitation the following day. You had to go play one more game against Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati got dogs.
Yep.
If you mess around Cincinnati, they got about 5 guys that'll go 60 yards on you in 0.3 seconds to this day.
Yeah, it was good. It was, good thing looking back on that, you guys kept your focus after, to going into that last game to wrap it up with 11 wins or 10 wins going into the bowl.
Hey, my guy JD, my guy Shaq, my guy Greg, they made big plays that game. They made big plays in the Virginia Tech game.
Absolutely. That's what I remember. Actually, when we were setting up this interview, Jerry Dillon's name came up, and I remember Jerry Dillon's pick 6 late in that ball game.
Yep, no doubt. Slower than the calendar. But hey, I make a play.
So, following the 91 season, obviously Coach Lewis moved on to Georgia Tech. So talk about that transition, moving into the Coach Logan era and everything that he brought to the table that had to excite you, being on that side of the ball and his offensive mind.
At that time, we had to question that quarterback. So as a receiver, don't forget that. That's key.
Right.
From a human standpoint, I haven't seen Bill Lewis since.
Wow.
That's what
dig that at I don't know how old we were. Right.
Yeah.
That's the human side of NCAA athletics. You're talking to one of the guys you went to school with. That's the human side of it.
Right.
He moved. Right. They get to move with impunity. I have not seen him. We did not hear from him.
Now, when's the last time you've been back to Greenville and to experience a game at East Carolina?
It's been double-digit years. Got busy living, guys. Got busy living. I'm 7 hours away. That's a long 7 hours. Yeah.
That's one thing Coach Houston has said. He wants as many former players involved that want to be involved. He welcomes all former players at practice and, anytime they want to be around.
Right. We'll see. The grapevine's still alive. We'll see. A lot of times that is said, but it don't go down. But we'll see. Open eyes, open ears. I haven't been back in a long time. I'm going to say that. But I hope it's different. I know that winning breeds winning. You can't help but get better, have the best team in the history of that school around your program. As many players from that team around your program.
Yeah.
And Clayton, moving from or actually talking about that 92 season, that's what, after having a solid year in 91, that's what you had another solid year in 92, despite the quarterback transition you referenced, going from Jeff Blake to Michael Anderson and Sean McConnell. So do you have any memories of that year? And then
Mike was Brian Leftwich before Brian Leftwich. Okay. Straight up. I love Sean Mack. Where's Sean Mack right now? Matter of fact, I think I got Sean Mack's only touchdown against Syracuse. I want to say it. I'd be bragging. I would be. But Sean Mack came in really wanting to take the team under his leadership from Cerritos. But you got 6'5", man, with a howitzer in Michael Anderson. Maybe not as mature as a junior college transfer. But a lot of coaches make the decision to lose young. I think from an offensive standpoint, we still put up major numbers.
Right. And also, you referenced the Syracuse game. That Syracuse game, Steve Logan's first game as head coach. And granted, we were playing
Thursday night, only game on TV. Don't forget
it. Granted, we were playing from behind, but we threw the ball something like 77 times in that game.
Hey, man. Listen now. Listen to what you're saying. That's average right now. A high up-tempo offense used to be 60 plays. You got teams running 85 plays on the regular right now.
Yep.
That's a lot.
And that's one of the things that really jumps out at me, because back then, the Pirates, we really threw the ball. I mean, even in 91, we threw the ball a decent amount compared to a lot of teams. But you look at the numbers, and like you said, the lack of tempo back then, and just the number of plays being run, and the catch totals for guys like yourself and others who had tremendous seasons, 35, 40 catches. And just to think about Zay Jones, and this is an extreme
example. Just think about Mitch Galloway.
Yeah.
The next season, Mitch Galloway.
Yeah.
Mitch got down at ECU.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mitch Galloway, tremendous player. We look forward to having him on. And that's what is funny when you think about Mitch. You're talking about the Gamecocks. Not to get off on a tangent, but I remember Mitch Galloway, when he went back to Columbia in '94, he lit up the Gamecocks.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I love playing against Gamecocks. I did. I felt like they thought they were better than us. You know, it might just be me. It might just be in my mind. I'll say that. But I feel like they thought they were better than us. Straight up.
I'd say that's probably a pretty good assumption. And if you haven't heard that from any of their players from that era, I would say that's probably a pretty good bet. Especially later on. I mean, even when they were a major independent, but even more so probably once they got into the SEC.
Yeah, I think it was that. We are the independent school. If you're gonna be independent, you got to beat us in Notre Dame. Period. I enjoyed dragging their ass at Pickland and at their house. Yeah.
But Clayton, bring Pirate Nation up to date. After you left ECU, talk about, did you have any professional opportunities, and then what you were doing after football?
A little bit in the CFL, didn't make it. Sometimes the Dragon wins in this thing we call, this fairy tale we call life. Taught for a little bit. Got on an entrepreneurial path. Performance specialist right now. I just attained my life insurance license. So I'm interested in helping people kind of set up and secure their financial futures at this particular point in time. And that's it, man. I got 2 beautiful baby girls. One older girl doing her thing in the theater industry, graduate of Howard University. Rolling with the punches.
Absolutely. it's exciting to hear that you're doing well, and we certainly appreciate your time, appreciate you coming on the show. It's great to catch up, and look forward to talking with you down the road.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you something. Anybody talk to Donnie Thompson?
Donnie, you say Donnie Thompson?
Yeah.
No, sir, we haven't.
I think that'd be an interesting guy to talk to.
Okay.
Have y'all talked to David Batts right on campus?
David Batts has not been on the show, but I do know David pretty well. I actually have interacted with him some at East Carolina baseball games down through the years.
How is it that you don't have D-Batts on the show?
Well, actually,
you got to get D-Batts on the show.
Will do. That's what he actually put me in contact with Morris Letcher, and it's more just it hasn't worked out yet because we've certainly extended an invitation to David Batts. He's a tremendous Pirate, and I know he's done an awful lot for football letter winners, and as Pirate Nation, we certainly appreciate that.
Get D-Batts on the show, man. He'll do your program well.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Clayton, again, we appreciate you so much for everything you did for the Pirates back in your time, and
don't make me sound old, man. But all right, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Hey, you did it anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what's done is done, right?
What's done is done.
but no, we appreciate your time and look forward to catching up. And go Pirates!
Thanks. Go Pirates. Talk to you
later.
All
right, have a good night. Bye.
That concludes this edition of 50 Pirates in 50 Days on the Sports Objective. Remember, join us daily between now and game day as we'll talk Pirate football with players from various eras. All these interviews are available exclusively on SoundCloud and our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and follow so you're alerted when we post new content. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, go Pirates!